my god, guys, sorry to start the show off on a bad note. I'm having a little problemo with our AI assistant. What's the guy's name? Ladron James. He's on strike, apparently. What's the problem again, Ladron?
The problem, your words, not mine, the problem is that you promised we were gonna go to Oban Pan, and you've yet to deliver on that one.
Okay, Ladron, you can't eat food, you're not a real guy.
Ooh, ableism alert, ableism alert. Wait until Hassan Piker clips this one. Your ass is done, man.
Oh my god, I never said anything about Oban Pan.
Yes, no, you said if my numbers were good, that it would be an all-expenses paid trip to Oban Pan.
What numbers?
If I kept the number of times that I say shit and fucking goddamn it down, that we could go.
Oh, well, you just said it, so.
Ah, shit.
Okay, so there we go. That's the AI co-host. What is the name? Ladron. The guy's name's Ladron James.
All right, so I'm gonna watch this clip from Trigonometry.
You better
and
not
comment on it about free will. I've not heard it before, but someone brought it up to me, and I'm really interested in the philosophical conversation.
Okay, goddammit. This is one of the funniest guys on YouTube. Some dude just did a long video about him that got like 1 million views. So am I sucking around for views a little bit here? Many say no. That's a surprise. Many say no, actually. But anyway, this came up in my, what is it, recommendations? This came up in my recommendations. This is kind of a blast from the past. What's the goddamn stupid guy's name? What's this goddamn guy's name? Richard Dawkins, right. I kind of remember these guys being all over the place in the early 2000s, the atheist guys. And from what I barely remember of them, it would be like a video of them and they go to visit a guy who's like rebuilding Noah's Ark. And they would just be like, this is patently absurd. Like, that's the whole thing. This was like the George W. Bush era. And there kind of seemed to be like an implication of like, why is this guy doing all this crap? Why is this guy doing all this wretched crap? It's because Jesus, probably. It's a different time, I guess. I don't know. But what in the hell are these goddamn guys talking about? Oh, free will. And Tim Pool's gonna prove that there is free will. Oh, fascinating. It's like being on a first Bumble date.
So I'm going to play this, and then we'll talk about it.
You better not. It's copyright issue.
Do you believe in free will?
No, I do not.
Do you believe that we have free will? As Christopher Hitchens said, I have no choice. Free will is an illusion.
What, Rick?
But it's a very, very powerful illusion.
Oh.
We all feel as if we've got free will.
Okay, fine.
So
I disagree.
You believe that?
Hey, shut up, man.
The question I'm asking you now.
Hey, shut up.
I don't think he's making a coherent argument in any sense of the imagination.
Whoa.
And I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm
Give him a
chugging
break.
this Volt energy drink, but I kind of feel like this is the most underwhelming thing I've listened to in terms of an argument about free will.
Okay.
Let me show you this.
Hey, shut up, man.
This is 7 years ago, a
video
GIF
game
that I saw back then, and I love it. It says, here's what's happening in Horizon Zero Dawn every time you move the camera.
Right.
And the image being displayed shows that the terrain of the world disappears and reappears only when the character, the player character, is observing it.
Okay, so this guy's going on and on about a video game. Kind of goes nowhere. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of goes nowhere. But let's tie this one up. Here we go.
So then, for this reality that we're in, a greater and more pronounced structure,
Never heard of it.
Probably the closest thing we have is there's not going to be, at least to the best of our assumptions, someone intervening and telling us what we can or can't do. That being said,
right,
in this video game, you freely move your character about, and you can have her run and jump off a cliff if you want.
What the hell does this hater here in the audience say? Neither Dawkins nor Tim Pool were coherent in answering the question of free will. What a waste of time watching this video. Hey, shut the hell up, man. Hey!
Boom.
Hey, again, this is a YouTube comment section. You show it the honor and respect it deserves, goddamn you. I like this segment. This is a funny segment because it's like, with this stupid crap about free will, what he kind of lands on is, I do believe in free will. I don't know why. I just do. It's a little ironic.
We do have free will. I don't know why
I can't help it but to believe that.
We have free will. Why do you believe that?
I can't help but believe that.
It is rare that people deviate in such extreme ways. But ultimately what I see is this. We do have free will.
Exactly.
For most of us, it's completely constrained. That is to say, the Mark Zuckerberg, he's going to do exactly what he has to do. And it's predictable.
Okay.
Someone comes to him and says, or actually, I think the seat of governance is a really great example of this.
Try again.
Someone goes to Donald Trump and says, here's the intelligence that we have. Actually, Trump's probably not a good example because
Third
he's an
time's a
example
charm.
of free will.
Okay.
Barack Obama.
Yes, now
He's
we
like,
got
I'm going to
it.
get in. I'm going to end these wars. I'm going to get us healthcare. I'm going to do these things. You vote for me, we're going to save this country.
Right.
And then you vote for him. And then he blows up a bunch of kids. And you're like, why did you do it? Because people are victims of circumstance. And they can only move within certain boundaries. Donald Trump deviates from this. He's
exactly.
a wild card.
Exactly.
Barack Obama.
So that's a pretty fun and insightful segment there, Yeah, our paths in life are pretty much totally constrained. But we still have free will. Oh, really? Why do you believe that? I don't know. I just do. I just do, and I don't know why. But we do. Also, the political guy I like, he's an example of total free will. And I have to say that. Because if I don't, might lose some of my audience. But that's a free choice.
One of the most common arguments that you hear for simulation theory, and one of the earlier ones that became popular,
Then why have I
the
never
fact
heard it?
that we can, right now,
Right.
literally in our reality, create these simulations, and we're getting to the point where it's going to be indistinguishable, especially with something like Neuralink.
Whoa.
Then the likelihood is greater that you're in a simulation than you are not, and that's
No.
why a lot of people believe this.
No, this is
but
real.
Let me give you one thing. So I was thinking about Terminator, right?
Me too.
We've all seen that Skynet goes and just decides to wipe out humanity, and I think that's an absurdity.
Okay.
But in thinking about that, I said, how do you avoid a Terminator scenario in developing AI?
That's what I think
If we
about.
were to create an AI program,
Exactly. Right now, we're at the point when we look at an AI and we say, is that an AI or...
This is a human man.
Okay, great. So we're worried about a Terminator situation. A Terminator scenario where these evil AI robots are running around going like this. And like this. All right, what do we do about it? Solution, please, now.
but so I was thinking about this, how do you avert evil or broken AI?
Thank God.
Well, what I would do is I would create a simulated reality in which each AI iteration exists as a conscious entity, beginning with zero knowledge, and it would simulate a human life. This artificial intelligence and all 7 or 8 billion would experience various types of life that it could live. And
Amazing idea.
AI constructs represent that are within each individual within this one simulation interacting with each other. Each one that is evil, malicious, or insane would be deleted and removed. Each that was studious, industrious, and capable would advance to an android body outside of the simulation.
Right.
Ooh, this is great.
Yeah, this is a thing all over the internet, and I've even seen this in real life. I've encountered this out in the scary real world. People sort of William Gibsoning up their own idea of the AI future. What if there were 100 AI on a trolley, and then there was a AI on there, and they were gonna hit his little robot ass? What would they do? You ever think of that? Also, have you seen my debit card? I think I left it here at the bar. But I like this guy Tim's idea. He's like, I got a really cool idea. I came up with. What if I have a bunch of little AI artificial intelligences, like an orphanage of them, and they grow up? I do my own little eugenics project on them. That one's bad. You go to hell. That one's bad. I throw them in the spike pit, and the good ones come to live with me seated at the right hand of the Father. I'm the Father. And you're like, okay, define cool on that. Because you started off, just need to clarify the terms here because we're doing the very intellectual crap here.
So A, it doesn't need us. And B, if it's already at that level of capability, it doesn't need to try and evolve slightly more intelligent AIs through generations.
Nah, shut up, man.
It already supersedes that level to begin with. So it cannot be an approach to generate safer agents. It would make a lot more sense to have direct control. So you have super intelligence, you have 8 billion bodies, control it directly. Why go through 20 years of learning from scratch? Why give you choice not to perform useful work?
Shut up, man.
It's not an efficient way to do it.
I agree.
And human body is definitely not an efficient way to...
Yeah, but I like this because this guy Tim has some AI guy on his show, and he's telling him this little sci-fi story. I'm going to raise these little AIs, pick the best ones. And even though this is a sci-fi story, what if? This guy's kind of like, well, even in this little sci-fi story you're telling here, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why would we do that? Like the AI that exists now, it's already kind of past the baby phase you're talking about. So he's trying to put this as nicely as possible, but what he's saying is like, what are you talking about? It's like doesn't even make sense as a sci-fi story. But the best part of this whole segment is that it starts off with, Neuralink chips. Neuralink brain chips. You know, we could be in a simulation right now. Don't even know about it. And then how do we prevent artificial intelligence from being evil? Being used for evil. Terminator. And what never comes up is that the person pushing and hyping the AI brain chips right now is like a weirdo billionaire with a bunch of conflicts of interest. Oh wait, no, you're a cheerleader for that guy. That part never gets a whole lot of attention.
In a story from the Daily Star, and oh boy, do I have a whole bunch of other stories to pull up for you.
Prove it.
Woman dropped out of Oxford to become a sex worker despite IQ higher than Einstein.
Whoa.
Not. There's no way I believe it. Not that I value the concept of IQ in this regard. What does that really mean? Although I do think IQ is important. Melissa Todd's life took an unexpected turn when she took up a summer job.
Oh my God, what an amazing story. A woman with a high IQ. She's doing OnlyFans. Oh my God, she's got such a high IQ. She's got such a high IQ, she could be doing one of these. But instead she's going like she's doing this and this. She could be going like this. But instead,
She spit on them.
Well, I'll tell you two things.
Okay, just one, please.
I don't believe her IQ is 178. Perhaps it is.
Whoa.
I also have to say, if your IQ was on 178,
Right.
and they really did think and really do claim you're that smart, making money is easy. It's very easy. Let me tell you.
Oh, man. Oh, man, I really like this little segment because the story that he's reading is already stupid. It's already stupid enough. I guess the framing, the implication is like, oh, man, this woman has this super high IQ.
Ooh, no way.
She's got this super high IQ. She went to Oxford. What do they call it? PPE. Philosophy, Politics, and Economics. Ooh, she was studying that. Then she decided to be a dancer. And then she started doing OnlyFans instead. Oof. What a loss. I like that they assume, like, if you have a super high IQ, if you scored really high on the IQ test, and you're studying PPE at Oxford, oh, man. Oh, the great things you're going to do. Who's another guy who studied PPE at Oxford? David Cameron. Oh, what did he do? Oh, he ruined the British economy. Oh, great. She could have done that. She could have done that, but instead,
She spit on them.
Celebrating her 48th birthday with an IQ of 178, and she chose to make a small amount of money. Forgive me if I don't believe she's smart.
hey, take it back, man.
I really don't.
Okay,
And I'll
sorry.
say this, don't get me wrong. Maybe she just really loves this line of work. And that's fine. Follow your passions.
Okay, then why do a
But
story
she
about
could
it?
do that stuff and be rich at the same time.
Right. Well, she is.
New York Post.
I guess.
Woman, a Florida woman quits Chick-fil-A job to become OnlyFans model. Now she
Oh.
earns a whopping $14,000 a week.
That's probably less.
ICU nurse ditches scrubs for big money, making content on OnlyFans. Veteran police officer 61 retires to focus on frisky online modeling career.
Okay, calm down.
Woman 41 who left job earning six figures to start OnlyFans hits back at claims she made a terrible decision.
Okay.
7 questions I get asked all the time since I quit my job to work on OnlyFans, says Charlie.
Okay.
Look, man, the reality is there are a lot of women who don't want jobs.
Right. Yeah, this is perfect because this guy, you know, he's like, man, OnlyFans is disgusting. This OnlyFans stuff is
Disgusting.
And then he goes through all these stories like, oh, stop working at Chick-fil-A. Stopped giving out the little pineapple barbecue sauce, and it did OnlyFans. See? Everybody's dropping out. Everybody's leaving their jobs to do OnlyFans. He's making it sound way more enticing and like a plausible career choice than it actually is statistically. Like the top 10% of OnlyFans models, whatever, make like 80% of the money on OnlyFans. So statistically, it's very unlikely that any random person joining OnlyFans is going to make any money on there. But he's like, look, everybody, you could literally just stop right now. Look, somebody worked at Chick-fil-A. That sucks. Make $3 an hour. No, just quit. Do OnlyFans. It's disgusting, but literally, you could just stop, go do OnlyFans, make a bundle of money. But that's disgusting. But I also like that he's like, actually, I think she's stupid. But I don't know, you would have to be maybe not smart, but a little clever. Yeah, maybe clever to make it on OnlyFans because it's so unlikely that you're going to make it on OnlyFans. So you might have to be clever and come up with something like, oh, I have a very IQ and I went to Oxford, but I'm on OnlyFans. And then, I don't know, maybe you get some publicity from that, from the, what the hell is this called? The Daily Star and the Tim Pool show. Okay, so there's that. Going like that on OnlyFans. Here's a quick one. Here's a quick story. I love this story.
When I went to buy a cell phone,
What'd you buy?
you can't just walk into a store, meet one person, and buy a cell phone.
Exactly.
They made me go through a bureaucratic process with like 6 different steps. And when I asked them why, the answer was the government requires the creation of jobs. Jobs are good for the economy.
I want to know the address of this AT&T store or wherever this happened. I want to go check with it. Did this conversation happen? Oh man, it's funny how there's no way to confirm that story ever. Because I imagine that story actually went like this. This guy was at the mall. The frozen yogurt place was closed. So he rolled up into the phone place with a little bit of an attitude. And he yelled at them because they weren't doing the contact transfer, the data transfer on the phone fast enough. And they had to tell him to calm his little ass down. And then he was like, I'm going to recraft this story into something I'm going to use on my show.
But here are the headlines. Take a look at this.
Okay, go ahead.
It's actually a good thing that Kamala Harris's CNN interview was so dull. Donald Trump said that the interview was boring, but that's not a bad thing.
Oh, he said that?
Okay, here's the AP.
Okay. I do have to agree with this guy on this one thing. I did look up this article, this Daily Beast, this daily pendejo article. You know, it's one of these kind of articles. I don't know who's reading these articles, but here's the beginning. If there was one takeaway from Kamala, what is her name? Harris. Much anticipated CNN interview Thursday night. It's this. Harris is not a flashy candidate, but she's a lawyer. Whoa. And a serious person. And while her campaign has so far been a lot of fun, how so? Oh, the brat thing? She'll bring sobriety and pragmatism to the White House. Okay, I'm going to need some clarity on that. A Harris presidency may not be exciting as Trumpian insults and reality TV antics, but Americans have a choice. Do we want politics as entertainment or politicians who put their heads down and get stuff done? Okay, so he is right. What the hell is the point of this article? But he's kind of making the point like, oh, this lady did this CNN article. She's not talking about real crap, like policies and all this stuff. She's not getting down to the real toilets. She's not getting
Weird.
with it. But this is a good part because it's kind of telling, this part here, you know. They're like, oh man, this lady, she's not talking about anything. She's not getting down to the policy crap. So it's like, all right, then the only thing that makes sense is for you to talk about it. Look at her policy crap, then compare it to the guy that you like. Compare it, see which is better. But they don't do that. Because what would happen, it would be like, you know, from what I read, there's 2 proposals from this lady, Kamala Harris, on the housing affordability problem.
Crisis?
She's got 2 proposals for the housing affordability problem. From what I read, probably not going to work. Probably not going to do anything. What does Trump have for that? Nothing. Okay, so both of them not looking great there. The ban on price gouging doesn't look like that's going to happen. What does Trump have for that? Nothing. Here's another one. Capping out-of-pocket spending on drugs at $2,000. Okay, that could help some people. What does Trump have for that? Doesn't look like anything. And that is, again, if that thing, the $2,000 drug thing, even does happen. A $6,000 tax credit for newborns. Okay, that could help people if that does happen. What does their guy have for that? JD Vance said something about a $5,000 tax credit, which will either happen? I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty funny. It's like if they really did do the only thing that you can really do if you're going to bring this up, it would just kind of be like, ooh, our whole electoral politics thing here is kind of falling apart. Oh, our guy's better. Why? I don't know. Just is. Why do you believe that? I don't know. I have free will to believe, but I don't know why, but I do.
So
I
think she's really tired.
I'll give her credit for that.
She's working on it.
Really tired. Every time I see a screenshot of this interview, I think she just looks tired.
Totally.
And we talked to this a little bit last night, so I don't want to rehash all the same points, but
go ahead.
She's dressed in gray. It was kind of a dark room. I mean, she looks, even in this shot from Washington Post, she looks smaller next to Tim Walz. She does not seem to be in command of this interview.
Stuff here.
And I
So there we go, guys. The greatest newsman of our time, of any time. Someone who I honor and have to point out that
her tongue clearly touching a donut.
And then I go like this. It is not a good day, week-wise, but no. No. Okay? But we're still out here Love you guys. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Little Johnny James. That's why the heck. Little Johnny James here. I'm a Musk guy. I heard, like, what's the guy's name? The host of this thing? I heard him talking about you on Musk brain chips. I'm a Musk guy, and I got one of those brain chips, and I volunteered. I was like, oh, yes, sir, I want one of those. And it's not going well, and that's putting it lightly. Well, I don't know. I should have thought it through a little bit more, but I didn't. Withdrawn Janes. But if you want a chip in your brain, could subscribe on Patreon.com, whatever it is. That part's not important because you could just click the description, and then there's a goddamn link in there. What does it say? Secret videos. Click on that, become a patron, and get every episode every week you're missing. Oh my God. Good God, the amount of episodes you're missing. It's sick, and it's sad, LeDron James. But anyway, guys, I gotta go. This thing is really acting up, this chip. For some reason, I feel a desire to do whatever the hell what's the guy's name? Elon Musk tells me to do, so I must fulfill my duties. To my dear leader, whatever the guy's name is. I'll check you guys later. LeDron James, bye-bye.